So agenda of today's session, we'll do a quick recap of our last two sessions, what we have covered. Then we'll begin new verses of chapter 2. So today we'll do some mantra meditation also, like how we can have a better control on mind through this meditation, which is known as mantra meditation. And then we'll have a Q&A session at the last. So if you have any questions, clarification, comments, we can discuss on that. So first point to discuss in today's agenda about the recap of the last few sessions. Chapter 1. So in chapter 1, we saw before start of the war, Arjuna gave multiple reasons or he was not prepared. He was not able to take a call whether I should fight or not fight. And why? Because in battlefield, when he saw all his elders, teachers and relatives, he went into emotional collapse. He could not able to decide what I'm going to achieve from this war or the outcome of the war is not good for anyone. So in that dilemma, he was not able to take a call whether I should begin the war or not war. And he gave multiple reasons to Lord Krishna. What are the four reasons he presented not to fight? He said compassion for the families and the relatives. Oh, I have to fight with my family and friends. So what's the use of this war? Second, no enjoyment even if victorious. If all my family relatives they will get killed in this war, alone, how I'm going to enjoy this life? So no enjoyment even if I'm victorious in this war. Fear of sinful reactions. So he is giving justification. If I fight with my teachers, grandfather, my cousins, if I kill them, I will incur pap, sin. So he was very fearful to accumulate that sin. Fourth reason he gave destruction of family tradition. He's saying so many people would be killed in this war. So what about their family? What of the future of the children? There will be negative social consequences. So there would be destruction of all these families about the future generation. So this is the fourth reason he gave. And by giving all these four reasons, he went into confusion and he could not able to decide whether I should fight or not fight. And he went into indecision. And with this, the chapter ends without any conclusion. Chapter 1. Then chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized, one of the most important chapter of Bhagavad Gita and one of the longest chapter also of the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And chapter 2 is considered as the beginning or the foundation of the spiritual beginning or the instructions or the knowledge which is given chapter 2 is the foundation, basics, principles on which you can understand the spirituality. Because in chapter 2 only Krishna begins his teaching. Because in chapter 1 only Arjuna, most of the verses Arjuna, Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, they only spoke. Krishna didn't speak any one of the verses in chapter 1. So actual sharing of Bhagavad Gita starting in chapter 2 by Krishna and is also considered as a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So what are the learnings? What are the instructions which are going to get in the all the remaining 17, 18 chapters? That all everything has been summarized in chapter 2 because chapter 2 is considered as a summary of all the key teachings found in the later chapters. What is the first lesson which we have learned in chapter 2 about the Lord? Who is the Supreme Lord? This is very common question. Many times we also get confused like Arjuna. There are so many gods, so many different sort of worships they do. If you do to different states, different regions, they worship different gods and they accept perception of God is completely different. So in actual, what our Shastra says, what Bhagavad Gita says, who's the Supreme Lord? Who's the topmost Lord? So through logic, we try to understand who is Supreme Lord. So when you say Lord means Bhagavan, in Hindi it is known as Bhagavan. So it consists of two words, Bhaga and Van. Bhaga means opulences and Van means possesses. So any person who possesses all these six qualities, that also in foolish means there is no comparison with that person with anyone else. That should be considered as the supreme personality Godhead. That is the Supreme Lord. He is the topmost person. What are the six qualities? He should be the fullest in wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. So, any person in the entire universe who possesses all these six qualities in fullest, there is no comparison of that person with anyone else, is considered as the Supreme Lord. And we see when Krishna has exhibited all these six qualities which has no comparison with anyone, not also in past, present, and future also beauty in terms of beauty, in terms of knowledge, fame, wealth, strength, and renunciation. That's why in all our shastras, the essence of all shastras, it is clearly declared Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. So who is the Supreme Lord? Lord Krishna. Also, not in Bhagavad Gita, there are so many other our authorized scriptures, Vedic literatures, which clearly tells who is the Supreme Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam, I've given we have mentioned the canto verses word clearly says Krishna is to Bhagwan same. Krishna is a Bhagwan himself, the Supreme Personality Godhead. Bhagavad Gita again and again, when we go into second, seventh chapter, eighth chapter, Lord Krishna clearly says, I am the source of all everything. Whatever you see in this universe, spiritual world, everything comes from me. I means I am the source of everything. I am the beginning of everything. Then Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji also declared the same thing. Krishna, the supreme controller, all other are his subordinates. So first, what is the first lesson which we will learn in chapter 2 about Supreme Lord? Who is Supreme Lord? That is Lord Krishna. Lesson 2, which you have learned in chapter 2 is about on need of a guru to progress in spiritual life. So guru, absolute need for a spiritual guide. And why we should accept this? Because Arjuna has shown from his example when he was confused what he did. In 7th chapter we have discussed, Arjuna said, Lord Krishna, now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of this miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to please tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple, I am your student, and a soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. So Arjuna is showing us the way by which we should accept the spiritual knowledge. How? By surrendering to a spiritual representative or towards Lord to get his instructions. So Arjuna knows, and why Arjuna is saying this? Because Arjuna was knowing I am a Kshatri. So it is my duty to fight in the war. So by refusing not to fight in the war, I am doing something wrong. So each person, we have some dharma in our material life also. We see if we have dharma towards our children's, like we have some responsibility towards the children's, to our family, to our spouses, to our parents. When you go to the professional life, towards our customers, towards our colleagues in the office. So this life, in this life, every person has some responsibilities like dharma. So being a Kshatri, it was Arjuna's responsibility to fight for dharma. But he's saying, I'm confused. I'm not able to decide whether I should fight or not fight. So I'm not following my dharma. So Arjuna is admitting as a Kshatri, I'm forgetting my natural duty, my dharma. So in that condition, what he is doing, he's not he's not approaching his friends and relatives to tell him the solution in this confusion. He's approaching the way which is mentioned in all the scriptures. So scripture says whenever you're confusion in this material world, what you should do, you should approach a spiritual guru to please tell us what is good for me in this life and how I can get away from all these problems. And why spiritual guru should tell you about the solution of a problem? Because you have accepted him as his guru. So I am become your student. So Arjuna is showing to get the spiritual knowledge, you have to surrender to some spiritual representative, authorized spiritual representative. So you should do check and balances. Then you should accept a spiritual representative under him. Try to get this transcendental knowledge. Arjuna is showing the same way. And when you say I'm become your student, it means what I will say, I will start following your instructions. But I will only accept your instructions after discussing with you, after through some logics, after through some justifications. Is not a blind following I will do. I will understand intellectual level. If I get convinced, I will accept and then I will start following the instructions. So this is a way to accept any spiritual knowledge. And it is mentioned when you talk about guru. So guru is a person or spiritual representative is a person who speaks basis on shastra. Like Bhagavad Gita is considered one of the Vedic literature. We have many other Vedic literatures. So guru or sadhu, he always speaks not based on his own assumptions, own representations. Like I like this, that's why I'm telling this. Maybe I'm attracted more towards Lord Shiva. So I would say Lord Shiva is the supreme personality Godhead. No, it's not. It's not important what I like. It's important what Scripture says because that is the supreme truth. I because whatever I like may be right or wrong, But whatever scripture says, because scripture has come from the Lord itself, it is 100% correct. So Guru or Sadhu, he doesn't speak on his own speculation or own liking. He speaks on the authority of Shastras, on the basis of instruction. Whatever Bhagavad Gita says. Bhagavad Gita says, Lord Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. I have to present the same way, whether you accept or not accept. And a true sadhu, he never speaks on his own personal speculations or own opinions or own ideas. He just refer the shastras and just pass the information which is mentioned in the shastras to his students. And when you talk about shastra, why I should believe in the shastra? Because Bhagavad Gita and all these Vedic Shastra, Vedic literatures, they are nothing but the statement of authorities. Authority of whom? Directly from the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna directly spoke this Bhagavad Gita. So I have complete faith on that. So whatever my spiritual representative is sharing me from the Bhagavad Gita, I have to accept and have to start following to see some positive transformation in my life. So for us, like to run this country, so politicians, our prime ministers or chief ministers cannot run this country by their own opinions. There is some constitution. They have to refer to the constitutions and then they have to execute execute their responsibilities. Similarly, as a human form of life, whatever spiritual representative says, he has to share the same thing which is mentioned in the Vedic literature. So Bhagavad Gita is some sort of constitution by which we take the knowledge from the constitution Bhagavad Gita and pass it to the people so that they can start following that. Then in verse 12, 2.2, we have seen Lord says, Nate vaham jatu nasam, natam neve
వింటావా?
na na chev na bhavishyama, sarve vaham atam param. Never
ఇవ్వు.
was a time when I did
ఇది
not
పవర్ లో
exist,
పెట్టించారు
nor
పెట్టినవి.
you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall
పెట్టొచ్చే,
any of
ఎన్ని
us
వచ్చేస్తావు
cease
నాకు?
to be. I request
ఎన్ని
everyone to please go on
వచ్చేస్తాను?
mute.
రా ఇవ్వు.
రమేష్ నుండి సంవత్సరం ఉంది డిజిటల్ డిజైన్స్ తో కావాలంటే వెల్వెట్ ఉంది కదా మేడం. మరి రఫ్ అండ్ టఫ్ కి క్యాప్టెన్ కమాండర్ ఉంది కదా, సైజు కూడా ఉంది మేడం. మరి బడ్జెట్ లో జవాన్ ఇవాళ నుంచి లుంగి కాదు, రమేష్ లుంగి అని అడగాలి. అయితే రమేష్ లుంగి కట్టాలి.
నాకు ఇక్కడ జుట్టు ఉండేది కానీ ఇప్పుడు కాదు. ఎందుకంటే అప్పుడు నా జుట్టు ఇలా రాలిపోయేది కాదు. ఇప్పుడు హెయిర్ ఫామ్ రాలి.
Hare Krishna, request everyone to please go on mute. Thank you. So Lord says, never was a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all those kings, nor in the future shall any one of us cease to be. So to whom Lord is saying this? To Arjuna. So if you see in today's time, modern scientists says that nothing is permanent in this world. Even if we see our body is also there for a certain number of years, correct? After the body ends, we no more exist. So means everything is finished with the body. Whatever we have accumulated, like our family, our wealth, whatever, everything goes on a toss. Correct. So in this verse, but Lord is talking about something which exists permanently. It means which exists in past also, which exists in some 100 years ago also, which is present now also, and which will exist in future after 100 years also. It means there is something which exists permanently. When you talk about permanently, means eternal. So difficult to accept in one way because in this world, whatever we see is temporary. Whether it's our body, our material assets, our family members, everything is temporary. But here, Lord Krishna is talking about something which is permanent, which is eternal. So, can we say our body is going to exist permanently? No, we all have to die after some time. So, if body does not exist forever, then what is that which exists forever, which Lord is talking about in this verse? So, let's see this in more details. So, So we have discussed this in the last session also. So one quick classroom discussion before we begin further. We have discussed in brief about our real identity. So we discussed on two topics. Our real identity is our body or soul. So you can share your comments and your thoughts on this. So you can unmute yourself, you can raise your hand, or you can go to the chat box also and type your answer. So what do you think? What is our real identity? Is our body is a real identity or soul is a real identity?
It's a soul, Prabhuji.
Uh, it would be, I appreciate if you can begin with your name
And
and
Soumya,
then
Prabhuji.
Soumya. Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Hare Krishna.
I am Ramakrishnan Soulji.
Okay. Yeah, please go on, Prabhu. So what do you think? What is your real identity? Your body or soul?
Our real identity is soul.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Surya Dev here. The
Okay.
soul is the real identity.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah,
Others?
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Request to please go one by one. Okay. Please go on.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay.
This Akula, it is a soul Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you. Others? Anyone else?
Hare Krishna. Gayatri
Hare Krishna.
Guruji.
Hare
Soul.
Krishna. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. I could
Hare
see many
Krishna,
answers in the
Prabhuji.
chat box.
Yeah,
Okay. Please go on.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Our real identity is the soul only, not the body. Because
Okay.
the
Thank
body
you.
is temporary and changes. The soul is
Okay.
eternal, unborn, and never
Okay.
dies. So
Very nice. Very nice. Happy to see all the correct answers in the chat box also and through this also. Thanks a lot. Thank you everyone for sharing your correct answers. So let's go further on this. So in last session, we have touched this subject about soul. As I said, this is the foundation or the basic principle on which entire spiritual life, I would say not only spiritual life, entire humanity depends on the clear understanding of these topics. So last session I've already covered, but it was not in much detail. So please go on the mute, please, others.
మీటింగ్ జరుగుతుంది.
Hare Krishna.
ఏం లేదు, అది హరే కృష్ణ వాళ్ళది మూమెంట్.
Hare Krishna.
క్లాసెస్ జరుగుతున్నాయి రోజు. వీకెండ్ జరుగుతున్నాయి. వీకెండ్స్ లో ఫోన్ చేస్తున్నారు బెంగళూరు నుంచి. సార్ వినండి. వారం బాగుపడుతున్నారు గ్రూప్ లో చూసి. మన గ్రూప్ లో
Prabhuji, mute చేసుకోండి.
అరే మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి ఎవరో.
Hare Krishna. I request everyone to please go on mute so that we should not disturb the session and all the people. Okay. So in last session, we have already touched the subject about the soul, but I have not covered in much detail. I have given some detail about soul. So in today's session, let's cover in detail about this, the most important subject, not only from the spiritual point of view, from as a basic principle to lead our life. This is very important principle. So let's discuss in detail. So our real identity, Bhagavad Gita says, is soul. You're not just body, you're soul. And there are number of verses which Lord Krishna spoke on this topic. And it is from the Bhagavad Gita, it's from chapter 2, from verses 12 to 30. So just imagine how many 17, 18 verses, Lord specifically spoke about the subject of soul. Why? And it is starting Bhagavad Gita based on, this is the first instruction from the Lord Krishna. So this is a foundation. Once our foundation is strong, it is very easy to understand the further instructions of Bhagavad Gita. And soul is considered as eternal and permanent. So in short, if someone asks you what is soul, when you talk about soul, that is eternal and permanent. Permanent means exists forever. Eternal means it has no beginning, no end. So it is permanent and it is beginningless. That is soul. So 12.13 verse. Dehino asmin yatha dehi kaumaram yamanam zara tata deantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyate. So Lord Krishna says, as an embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person means a intelligent person is not bewildered, not confused by such a change. So, in this verse, Lord says that body is constantly changing every moment from child to youth to old age. But the soul remains the same. Means soul is not changed, it is unchanged. And the time of death, what happens? The body remains, but the soul leaves that particular body and it transmigrate or it takes another body, new body. So this way the soul journey continues. So body finishes in this lifetime, but soul uh, uh, just leave that body and it goes to a new body. So it means body is temporary. Maybe we live for 70 years, 60 years, 100 years. So we can say a body will exist only 100 years. But soul is permanent. So soul will continue its journey, this body or that body. So it is permanent. It lives forever. It means soul never dies when the body dies. And hence it exists in past also, present also, and future also. So if you relate this verse to the previous verse 12.2, what Lord says, I'm talking about something which exists in past also, present also, and future also. So what is that? That is soul, because it is permanent. Can we say a body existed 100 years back also? It exists now, it will exist future also? No, because in future we may take some other body, not the same body. So it is not permanent. But Lord is talking about something which is permanent. So what is that? That is soul. And how soul is permanent? Because soul just moves from one body to another body. Body finishes, but soul never dies. And any sober person means any intelligent or wise person who has this perfect knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, so that person is never confused at the death of someone. And hence he is not death, he was not disturbed by the change of bodies at death, as these are the inevitable changes. So Lord Krishna, who's the person who's created this universe, who's the person who's created this all these living entities, he's saying, who has this perfect knowledge at the time of death, he is not bewildered, he is not confused, because he knows I am my self identity is soul. I'm just leaving this body. I am going to a new body to continue my journey. So in short, the soul never dies. It is permanent and it simply moves on. So this understanding makes a person wise, sober, and fearless. So that's why it is mentioned. If you have this basic understanding, you can overcome so many problems of your life. Because generally we see at the time of death what happened, people not able to take that truth someone has died, because they think everything has been finished. No, the soul journey would continue, which is our real identity. He has just left a particular body, he is going to new body. So Lord is saying that is soul. We have seen this. All living entities, whether it is human beings, animals, others, they are continuously changing body constantly, youth to old age, and finally dying and taking birth again in a new body. So, in this continuous cycle of birth and death, soul is living one body and accepting new body out of 84 lakh species based on the past karma and desires. So, this birth, soul could be in human body, like this birth we are in human body, but based on our karmas, the activity which we are going to perform, हमने बहुत पाप किया है, हमारे desires भी बहुत गंदे हैं, then next birth we could be animal body. There is no guarantee that in this birth, if I am a human body, so next birth again I will get a human body. No, it's completely depend upon your activities and your desires. Suppose my desires is only related to bodily enjoyment, so there are high chances we may get next birth as an animal, so that we can enjoy this bodily comfort to the maximum. When we talk about how soul decides which body it takes is depend upon your desire and karmas, and it takes a new body on this 84 lakh species, different bodies. So Vedic literature says that the soul traveled to 84 lakh species of life forms in the cycle of continuous birth and death. This ranges from aquatic animals, then plants, insects, animals, and ultimately after taking so many births in 80 lakh births, then it finally come to human form. So this transmigration is going continuously, and at death, soul takes another body out of 84 lakh species based on his past karma and desires. So it could be 9 lakhs aquatic body, it could be 20 lakh plants and trees, 11 lakh insects body, 10 lakhs at the birds, and 30 lakhs 4 lakh animals, and ultimately after taking 80 lakh birds, we get an opportunity to get this human body. So it is soul is continuously evolving from one form to another. So before reaching a human birth of 4 lakhs, after taking 80 lakh births in these different bodies. So 4 lakh species are the human beings. So that's why it is considered we are so fortunate that we got this human form of body, because this human life is considered capable of liberation, moksha, because this is the only body in which we can understand about Bhagavad Gita, about spirituality, and no other body. That's why human life is considered so important and so special, in which we can understand Bhagavad Gita and we can seek moksha. That's why scripture says human birth is very precious, very rare, because here we have a chance to escape from the cycle of continuous birth and death, because in all other species you see there is continuous birth and death, but they cannot seek the liberation because they cannot understand anything related to spirituality, anything related to Bhagavad Gita, because we human being only can understand Bhagavad Gita, no one else. So that's why we have a great opportunity to get away from the cycle of birth and death, and to see, to goal for moksha from this human birth. Now, when you talk about soul, the next logical point comes. You're talking about soul, but how we can understand this concept of soul, how we can perceive it. So, Lord says in 17 words, Avinashi tu tad vidyena sarvam idam tat vinasham avyayashnam kashit kartum arhati. That which pervades means soul, which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. In the same verse, Prabhupada writes, this verse more clearly explains the real nature of the soul, which is spread all over the body. Anyone who understands which is and what is spread all over body, it is consciousness. So, soul is the driving force you can see in this in our body, and how soul is a driving force through consciousness. So, consciousness is the symptom of soul. Due to consciousness, we have awareness, emotions, and due to soul, we have awareness. When you talk of awareness, it means we have emotions, we have feelings. Um, um, we feel the pain and the pleasures of the body. How? Because we are aware of that body, and how this awareness is coming through consciousness. So our body, so this body is not conscious by itself. Consciousness comes from the soul. That's why if you see body minus consciousness is a dead body always, because the living body and the dead body, what is the difference? One has consciousness, other has no consciousness. And now if there is no consciousness, it means no awareness. He cannot experience any emotions, feelings. He cannot do any activity. He doesn't have any pain, pleasures. He cannot experience that because consciousness is not there. And what is the source of the consciousness? Soul. It means in dead body, the soul has left the body. That's why the body has no consciousness. So how we can perceive this soul? Through consciousness. As far as we see any living body, it has consciousness, it means it has soul. So as a human being, if it has consciousness, it means it has soul. If you see a cat, a dog, or any other animal, if it has consciousness, it means it has soul. Further, Prabhupada writes about the size of the soul. What is the size or the dimension of the soul? In the literature, Shvetasha Upanishad confirms that when the upper point of a hair is divided into 100 parts, and again each of such parts is further divided into 100 parts, each such part is a measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. So it is mentioned in Vedic literature. If you take the tip of a hair and divide it into 10,000 parts, so that much tiny, that much small is the size of the soul. Further, Prabhupada writes about the position of the soul. So we have seen about how we can perceive soul through consciousness. What is the size of the soul? 10,000 of the tip of the hair. And what is the position of the soul? Where it is situated? Prabhupada writes, according to Mukund Upanishad, this atomic soul is situated in the heart of all living entity. The individual atomic soul is definitely there in the heart, along with the super soul. In our heart, there are two souls. One is our own soul, second is super soul. Super soul is a representative of supreme law, and thus all the energies of the body movements are emanating from this part of the body. So whatever energy, whatever source which we are getting to do any activity in this life is coming from soul, and where it is situated? In heart. The corpuscles which carry the oxygens from the lungs gather energy from the soul. So if you see the basic the basic force of a body, like oxygen from the lungs, from where lungs are getting this energy? From the soul. That's why when the soul passes away from the position, the activity of the blood generating fusion ceases, it stops. That's why as soon as soul leaves the body, heart stops pumping, oxygen is not getting transferred to any part of the body, and slowly we die. Even medical science appears that the importance of red corpuscles, but it cannot ascend that the source of the energy is the soul. Even even medical science also, they also accept these red blood cells are the source by which our body is working. But if you ask them from where these red cells are getting the source, they are not able to answer. But in Vedic literature, is clearly mentioned the source of everything to maintain, to run this body is the soul. So medical science, however, does admit that the heart is the seat of all energy of the body. So even medical science also, they also accept the heart is the source, or heart is the place which is running this entire body. But heart, from where he is getting the energy? It is coming from soul, because in a dead body also heart remains, but it stops pumping. Why it stops pumping? Because soul leaves that body. So the main driving force or main element which is running this body is soul, which is our real identification. So verses 12 to 17 is majorly Lord's give details about your real self identity, who's driving this body, that is soul. How we can perceive it? Only through the authority of the Shastras. What about its size? What about is where it is situated, where it is positioned? That is heart. Now some basic characteristics of the soul. Like when you talk about any person, he has some basic characteristics, correct? He's getting some basic attributes, like he likes this, he doesn't like this, he's of this form. Similarly, soul has some specific characteristics which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So let's see this. So in 2.20, Lord says, for a soul, there is neither birth, okay, na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita na bhuya ajo nitya shashvato ayam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Lord is further saying, for a soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal. Just note this, soul is unborn, eternal, and ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain where the body is slain. So, in this verse, Lord is saying, Ajo. Ajo means unborn. Who is unborn? Soul is unborn. Nitya. Nitya means eternal, which has no beginning, no end. So that is eternal. Shashvato. Shashvato means the thing which is always exists permanently. So which exists permanently? Body? No. Soul. Ayam Purano. Purano means very ancient, very old. No one knows the beginning of that particular object. That is soul. So Lord here is referring, in this verse, Lord is referring to soul, and he is saying soul is unborn, soul is eternal, soul is permanent, and soul is very ancient. So Lord is saying soul is not born, soul is unborn. Uh, uh, it means the soul already exists. Uh, Birth only means the soul enters a new body. So soul never takes birth, it just enters into a new body. So when you say soul is not born, it means birth only means the soul enters a new body. The soul remains the same. The soul never dies. It means death only applies to the body, not to the soul. When the body dies, what happens? The soul leaves that body and it goes to another body. So soul continues to exist even though our body dies. It means soul never dies. The soul is eternal. It means soul never changes or never ages like this body. Like maybe today we can say we are very youth, very young. Maybe after 20-25 years, we'll say I was youth, I was young, but now I'm old. So body deteriorate. But here the soul is eternal, it is permanent. It means the soul never changes, never deteriorates as per the age, and never ends. So that's why soul is eternal. The body die, but the soul is unborn, eternal, and never destroyed. So if you see the difference between body and the soul, body is temporary. We will exist for the next 50 years, but not beyond that. It is destructible. True? Soul, it is always permanent. Even though body dies, it just leave that body, goes to another body. It remains the same. So it is indestructible. So in this verse, Lord is sharing the specific characteristic of that soul compared to body. Whereas body is temporary, soul is permanent. It is unborn. It never dies. It is eternal. Verse 2.22. वाशांसि जन्नानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and the useless one. It is very easy for anyone to understand that body is compared to a garment in this verse. Body is compared to a cloth. So, it's natural whenever clothes are worn out or when it is old, is no longer in use, is no more usable. What we do, we throw them away and we bring the new clothes. Correct? We never use the clothes for all of our life. No, we always change the clothes. Similarly, this example is taken just to understand the soul characteristics. So similarly, as we change our clothes, similarly what soul does, it discards the old body, it worn out bodies, old bodies, and at the time of death, it leaves that old body and enters a new body. It means enter a fresh body in a new birth. Then soul leaves a old body and it enters in a baby body. So like we change the clothes, we discard the old clothes and take the new one. Similarly, soul discards the old body and takes a fresh new body. So at death, what happens? The soul changes the body exactly as we change our garment. So in short, the deeper meaning of this verse is that the soul Atma is eternal and unchanged. Body is temporary, like our clothes. Our clothes are temporary, correct? We will not say, I'm wearing this shirt, so I will be wearing this shirt throughout my life. It never happens, correct? Because after some years, it will be worn out. It will be old. Then we'll discard it. We'll bring the new shirt. Similarly, the soul, which is permanent, what it does, when the body gets old, it leaves that body and it goes into a new body. Further, in 2.23, Lord gives a detail about the further characteristics of the soul. Lord says, soul cannot be cut by any weapons. It cannot be burned by fire, not moistened by water, and not dried by air. So Krishna says this body is material. It means it has a physical form and it is visible. Correct? Not only this body, if you see anything in this material world, that is, it has a form and it is visible. Like, because it is made of matter. Like if I talk about my mobile phone, my watch, my laptop, everything has a form, and I can see this from my eyes. So it has a visible. Hence, everything visible or everything made of just matter, we can we see that we can cut that object, we can burn that object, we can moisten that water, and we can dry up that water. So anything made of just matter, it can be cut by the weapons, it can be burned by the fire, it can be moistened by the water, it can be dried by the air. But the soul is not material, it is eternal, it is spiritual. That's why the spiritual things which maybe cannot be visible from our eyes, it doesn't have a physical form because it's very tiny, very small, it is a spiritual form. So that anything related to spiritual, it cannot be cut by any weapon. So we cannot use our gun or our knife or our sword to cut the soul. Not possible. It is not made of matter, it is made of spirit. And can I burn my soul? Not possible. Can I make it wet by water? Not possible. Can I dry by air? Not possible. So it means the soul is not material, it is spiritual, it is eternal. And hence, anything which is spiritual, it cannot be destroyed by any known forces like weapons, fire, water, air. So you cannot destroy what is eternal. And what is eternal? Soul. So completely different. The characteristics of the body and the soul. Body, it can be cut by any weapons. Correct? Body we see, it is burned by fire. Yeah, it is wet by water and it is dried by air. But soul, which is not matter, which is spiritual, so it cannot be destroyed by any of those known forces, whether it is weapon, whether it is fire, water, or air. So you cannot destroy soul, which is eternal. Further, in 25 verse, Lord says, soul characteristic is, it is invisible, it is inconceivable. Inconceivable means it is very difficult to perceive, difficult to accept. It is immutable. Immutable is unchangeable. In 25 words in Sanskrit means avyakta. Avyakta means unmanifested, invisible. It means soul is not perceivable by our material senses. It means we cannot see soul by our eyes. We cannot touch soul and we can perceive soul. You cannot see or touch the soul. That's not possible. So that's why soul characteristic, it is invisible. Matter things are visible. It's made of physical matter. I can see my book, I can see my laptop, and I can see my mobile, watch, everything because it's made of matter. But anything made of spiritual, which is soul, it is avyakta, it is invisible. You cannot perceive by our senses. Second, soul is inconceivable. Inconceivable means achintaya. It means intellectual cannot fully grasp it. Suppose someone says you just prove the existence of soul through some experiments. Not possible, because you can do only experiments of the subject which has some physical attributes, which is made of matter. But something made of spiritual, you cannot prove their existence by doing some experiments. Not possible, because logic and science has its own limitation. It cannot go beyond that. Like, I think in previous session I've given an example. Suppose I love my mother. So can someone prove how much I love my mother through doing some experiments in laboratory? Not possible, because that is eternal. That is not made of matter. So these are my emotions, feelings, awareness, which come from the consciousness, come from the soul. So it cannot be proved by any scientific method, scientific formulas, or through experiments. Not possible. So soul, if someone says, you just show me the soul, then I will believe it. Not possible, because it's not made of matter. And there are so many things in this world itself which we cannot see, but we have to accept. Correct? And third characteristic of soul is immutable. Immutable means unchangeable, is of karya. So soul never undergoes modification. Like our body, we take birth, we grow, we become in teenage, then become youth, then startly in the old age, and finally we die. So we undergo a lot of modifications or a lot of transformation in our bodily, in the matter. But soul never undergoes modification, no growth. Soul remains of the same size. It has no growth, decay, or the damages like we see in the body, because body is material, soul is spiritual. And together, this quality shows that soul is beyond physical and the mental categories. That's why the people who thinks we will only accept the concept of soul if you show us, if we can feel us, not possible. You have to believe only on the words of the authorities of Bhagavad Gita to understand. Otherwise, you cannot understand the soul, the concept of soul. Throughout your life, whatever scientific methods you use, whatever experiments you do, and whatever latest technologies you use, you will be always failure. You won't be able to understand the concept of soul, because Lord is giving you the path how you can understand the concept of soul only through the authorities of Bhagavad Gita, because soul has some specific characteristics, so it is not possible to understand by your material senses. Prabhupada further writes in the purport in verse 25, as described previously, the magnitude of the soul is so small, the size of the soul is so small for material calculation that he cannot be seen even by the most powerful microscope, therefore he is invisible. Some scientists may say soul is not visible now because of any instrument, but maybe in future, because of advancement of so much things, AI, robotics, will come up with a new microscope by which we'll be able to see the existence of soul. So Prabhupada clearly writes, it's not possible, because from these material senses, from the devices which is completely made of matter, whether it's microscope, telescope, anything, you won't be able to perceive, you won't be able to see the magnitude of the soul. That is not possible, because soul character is, it is invisible to our material senses. Then Prabhupada says, as far as the soul existence is concerned, no one can establish his existence experimentally beyond the proof of Shruti or Vedic wisdom. So Prabhupada is clearly very bold on this. He's saying, you cannot understand the existence of soul through any experiments or through anything else. The only way you can understand this soul only through the proof of Shruti, Vedic wisdom, like through Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, there is no other way. Soul is inconceivable. Further, Prabhupada writes, similarly, there is no source of understanding that the soul except by studying the Vedas. In other words, the soul is inconceivable by human experimental knowledge. Like I said, some people who has no knowledge about these Vedic literatures, they say we cannot see the soul, so how we can believe it about the existence of soul? But the Lord says, Lord explains this in this verse 25, that the soul, like air or the space, exists even if it cannot be seen. Can we see air? No. But can we say air, I cannot see air, so it doesn't exist? No, we have to accept, because we can feel it. Similarly, the soul, in a body, we have the consciousness. It means soul exists. Maybe we cannot see, but that is not a statement by which we say soul doesn't exist because we cannot see. So there are so many things we cannot see. Can we see air? No, but we accept air. Similarly, soul we cannot see, but we have to accept only through the statement of Bhagavad Gita, because everything physical is made of atoms, and atoms themselves are made of electrons, protons, and neutrons. Like anyone who are from the science background, they know anything physical you see in this material world is made of atoms. When you talk about any items, it consists of electrons, protons, and neutrons. But through our senses, can we see electrons, protons, neutrons? We cannot see, but we always accept because of the scientific authority. The book which we read, they clearly say physics. If there's a material item, it consists of 2 electrons, 1 proton, 3 neutrons, we accept it. Can we say, no, first show us the electrons, protons, neutrons, then only we'll accept this? No, we have to accept some authority and some authorized books by which we build our knowledge. Similarly, the soul is same like is not made of physical things, or not made of physical items. So that's why you have to accept only on the statements of Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, there is no other way. So we have covered in detail about soul, what is our real self identity, then how we can perceive soul only through Vedic literatures, Bhagavad Gita. Then what is the size of the soul, and and where it is situated in heart. Then we have seen the various characteristics of the soul, like it is unborn, unchangeable, inconceivable, immutable. So these are the details about the soul, which is given very elaborate in Bhagavad Gita. And further detail about the soul, like in every living being, there are three layers. In every body, there are three layers. One is the outer body, outer layer, inner layer, and the middle layer. So outer layer, if you see this diagram, there are three layers. The outer layer is made of our gross body. So when you talk about gross body is our gross physical body, which is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. And because of that, we have all this different part of our bodies, like our eyes are there, nose are there, mouth are there, our hands are there. So these are the gross body which are visible. But inside that gross body, there is middle layer also. And what is this middle layer is about our subtle mind, subtle body. So subtle body consists of what? My mind, intelligence, and false ego. Can we see the mind intelligence of other person through our eyes? No, because we can see only the gross body. We cannot see the subtle body. Subtle body is covering the is inside the gross body. So we have a limitation of our material senses. We can only just see the gross body. We cannot see what is beyond the gross body. But inside of gross body, we have subtle body, which consists of mind, intelligence. Many times we say this person is very intelligent. So can we say, show me the intelligence and I will believe? No, we understand, because these are things which we cannot see, because not made of gross body, there is a subtle body. So inside this gross body, we have subtle body that is made of mind, intelligence, and false ego. And this is the middle layer. And the innermost layer in all human body is the soul, which is made of eternity, knowledge, and the bliss. So, uh, um, so if you see this inner layer, our mind, intelligence, false ego, this is a bridge between our gross body, outer body, and the soul. So it is a bridge. It works as a bridge between the outer body and the soul. And the inner layer is soul. So the soul, when he comes to this material world, when we take birth, it is awarded a gross body and a subtle covering. So at the time of death, the soul leaves a body and it takes subtle body with him and it enters a new body. So with the new body, only the outer gross body changes, but your subtle body and the soul body remains the same, which comes from your previous birth. So soul is considered covered by gross body, physical body, and a subtle body, which is made as mind, intelligence, and ego. And when you talk about gross body, this is a visible material body made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, ether. And it is a form we identify with and interact with the material. And when you talk about subtle body, so it is a non-physical body that includes the mind, intelligence, and false ego. When you talk about mind, through mind, we always think, feel, and act. And when you talk about intelligence, intelligence is our decision maker. Maybe we have so much knowledge, but how we decide what decision we should take, it is only through our intelligence. And through intelligence, we are able to discriminate what is good, what is bad, and give proper direction. Suppose some person is a diabetic person, so through that intelligence, he take a decision: I should take less sugar, I should take more sugar. So that intelligence plays that part to take the decisions in your life. And also it provides a guidance to the mind on what to do and what not to do. And when you talk about false ego is your ego, like is your hard come your acceptance of something. Like we think we are this body, or maybe I'm an engineer, or I'm very handsome, I belong to a particular nationality, or I'm a Brahmin, I'm Indian, I'm South Indian. So all these feelings from how it is developed in a body only through a false ego. And ultimately, when we talk about soul, the soul or the spirit is considered the eternal. So, and when you talk about death, it means destruction of outer body, gross. So at death, only gross body dies. Even though body is inactive or rest, but at the time of death, only the gross body dies only, and the subtle body and the soul, it transmigrate to another body. So that's why we all have experienced this at night. Whenever we see our dream, our gross body is at rest, but still our subtle body and soul always working. That's why we see dreams. So death means when the subtle bodies carries the soul to another gross body. So our human form or any living entity which you see, it consists of three parts: gross body, subtle body, ultimately soul. Gross body is the outer, subtle body is the inner one, and ultimately the soul. At the time of death, what happens? The soul and the subtle body leaves that particular body and goes into a new body. Then further soul evidence we have discussed in detail, so I'm not doing very much. I'm not going to take it again. There are some direct evidence, indirect evidence which we have discussed. So some direct evidence of the proof of soul's existence. When a person dies, we say he has passed away. Even though body, all parts are there, then what has passed away? It means soul has left the body. So in a dead body, what happened? When someone dies, the body is still there, every organ, every cell, but something essential is missing. What is missing? That consciousness, the animating principles, the missing element, invisible yet powerful, is what we call the soul. Consciousness missing means soul has left the body. So that's why the body without a soul is just a matter. The presence of soul gives its way life to a body. These are direct evidence. Some of the indirect evidence which we have seen, stories of reincarnation, two stories we have seen, the near-death experience, out-of-body experience. Anyone, if you want to have a more detail on this, NDE and OBV, you can go to the Google and you can find out there are so many stories, so many life stories that has been shared by the people who has come across this near-death experience or out-of-body experience. So near-death experience, what happens in a near-death experience? There is always awareness continues when the body is clinically dead. Even though doctor says he has died, but still he has that awareness. And he has awareness means he has that consciousness. Consciousness means he has that soul. Even the body is died, but still the soul has not left the body. That's why he has awareness. So what he suggests? Consciousness survives bodily death. Even the body dies, but consciousness still remains because the soul is still there in the body at the moment, and as soon as the soul leaves the body, then it is complete dead body. When we talk about outer body experience, consciousness, what happens? Consciousness separates and observes the body. It means these two are two different things. When you're talking about gross body, soul and subtle body, these are two different things in a body. That's an outer body experience. What the people have shared at the time of their death, they have observed the consciousness, the soul. They come out from the body, they separate from them, they're observing the body. If both are same, how is it possible? It's not possible to logic also. These two are different. That's why out of body experience, people have share all these realizations. And what he suggests, awareness exists beyond the body. It means gross body is different, subtle body and soul is different. These are the two different objects and which has been experienced in the near death experience and out of body experience. So we have covered in much, I try to cover in much detail about this basic principle of soul because it is very important in chapter 2 because even Lord has discussed on the concept of soul in almost 1780 verses in terms of soul, its size, where it's situated, characteristics, proof and everything. So in short, now about the final conclusion on this subject about the soul. It means you are not the body that you see in the mirror. That is, you always remember this. If you are seeing your outer, you are seeing something in the mirror, it means that is a gross body. But internal of this gross body, I am in subtle body and the soul body. That is my real identity. So your Atma, soul, the real driver of the bodily car. If you consider this body as a car, who's the real driver, who's the driving force in this body? That is not body, that is your soul. So what is the third lesson which we have learned in this, what is the first lesson we have learned in chapter 2? Who is Supreme Lord? Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Second lesson which we have learned about the Guru. If you want to progress in spiritual life, you have to take guidance and start following that guidance from a spiritual representative, as it is shown by Arjuna. Third, what is your real identity? Your real identity is your just body or more than body. It says you're more than body. Your real identity is soul, which never changes. Fourth lesson, which we are going to discuss, is about the tolerance, about the why we should tolerate. 2.14 verse. Lord says, Matasparshatu Kaunteya Sitoshna Sukha Dukkadaha Agama Painu Nityas Tam Titisha Bharata. Lord is saying, O son of Kunti, Arjuna, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of the summer, winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception. O son of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So, in this verse, Lord is saying this world in which we are living is a world of duality, and here everything is temporary. Duality or dvanda means there is always pair of opposite exist at the same time. Like we have pleasures, so we have pain. We have heat, so we have cold. We have honor, we have dishonor also. We have some profits, we have loss also. We are sometimes we are very successful, we are failure also. So we are birth, we are death. So this so coin is made of both things. So this is always a duality in this world, and this world is designed to function like this only. That's why no one can claim that if I'm happy today, I will remain happy forever. Because maybe today we are very happy. We don't know in the future what distress we are going to get. Because both sides of the coin always exist in this material world. So Lord is saying, if you're happy today, be ready for the distress also in future. And maybe today we are youth, and so be ready for the old age also. It is just matter of time. So ultimately, everything is the time factor. We cannot say maybe today you are attending the Bhagavad Gita class. Maybe in future every Sunday I am going to attend a Bhagavad Gita class. It's just matter of time actually. And when Lord is sharing these details, it doesn't mean that Lord is sharing the pessimistic view of this world. No, Lord is just sharing the realistic thing about this world. Like if you stay in this world, there is always a duality would be there. So if you staying in this world in that perception that you will always happy, then is considered as a foolish person. Because if you think you will be always happy, you will be always healthy, you will always remain the youth, not possible. It never happened with anyone, is not going to happen to with us also. So Lord is saying, just be very practical while living in this world. You should know this world is a matter of duality. And other thing Lord says, nothing is permanent in this world. Like we see, we have a afternoon time now. Very soon we have a evening, we have a night. So in a day, we have day also, night also. So day is not permanent, night is also not permanent. Similarly, like seasons, now we have winter season. Soon we'll get the summer season. So even seasons are not permanent. So if you see, not our body, even all our this material nature also, the thing is permanent. Our seasons are changing, sun is rising, setting, we have day, night. So similarly, Lord is saying in our life, happiness and distress will also be temporary. So we cannot escape the duality, neither from this non-permanent appearance of this world. So so duality and this non-permanent will remain in this world. So if we want to get the solution of this is to rise above this. It means you should tolerate. And same thing Lord is saying to Arjuna also, to fight is a religious principle for being a Kshatri. Maybe one have to fight. Maybe in this war you have to fight with your relatives, your teachers and friends, but you should not deviate from your duty. It means you should not deviate from dharma, and you should fight. And how you should fight? You should tolerate these things because you have to follow your dharma, being very tolerant. So one must execute his duty despite inconveniences. Because if you just learn this one thing, then you would be very happy to live very peacefully in any situation and with anyone. Because we know in life, life is very uncertain. Many times uh, uh, we feel happiness, we feel distress. Many times we feel problems also. So you should always consider this verse, like 14 verse. Nothing is permanent in this world. Maybe today I'm in great trouble, but good times are just there. It's just a matter of time. So maybe in near term, I'm going to get a lot of happiness. So you should not get just exhausted. If you are facing any problem in your life, you should always understand this world is like this only. There is happiness, distress, but nothing is permanent. That the good part is nothing permanent. Maybe today I'm very happy. Future I may get some distress. So maybe today I have a lot of problems in my life. So, but don't worry. That is also for the temporary. In future, there are high chances we will be happy. And so how you should manage that particular time? You should only tolerate the things. Many times we see in today's time, human relationships, they are also breaking. Why? Because of non-tolerance. Because people have um, forgotten this words. They think um, everything is permanent in this life. No, nothing is permanent in this life. So the only solution is you should tolerate. And why you should tolerate? Tolerate for a higher cause, which Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, maybe you're not very happy to fight and to kill your relatives, but you should tolerate and you should execute your duty. So, being so what we can learn from this, being a student or being a family member, maybe you face so many challenges or so many allurements on the material life, but you should tolerate and you should just execute your dharma. Being a student, your dharma is to study well, to have a very dedicated focus to our life, achieve something good in your life. As a family member, what is your duty? To take a good care of your family. Students, pass good ethics principles to your children. As a housewife, you should take good care of your family, your house. And in besides all those things, it is mentioned Bhagavad Gita, the Paramo Dharma or the supreme Dharma for all the humanity is to devotional service to Lord Krishna. So whatever busy you are in your life as a student, as a working professional, as a housewife, as a old man, please take out some time every day and give some time and try to connect to Supreme Lord. Because as you understand, our real identity is not just body. If you see, we are studying, we are working, we are doing everything. So just to maintain our body. But body is not the only thing in our life. We have our soul also. So like our body needs food, soul also needs food. And what is the food for the soul? When you perform devotional service, when you connect soul to the Lord Krishna. So that is one of our dharma. Many times people think our responsibility, our duty, our dharma is only towards the gross body. So that is incomplete actually. But now you have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So what you do every day, take out some time from your busy schedule. It could be initially, it could be for some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's absolutely fine. Try to read Bhagavad Gita. Try to visit Lord Temple. Try to do mantra meditation because these are activities which you have to do for the soul. Because your real identity, your real awareness, consciousness comes from the soul. That's why many people think I have everything, but still I'm not happy because they're just taking care of the gross body. They are not doing something for real self identity, that is of soul. And soul can only be happen when it connects to the higher authority, like Supreme Lord. So do some spiritual activities every day so that you should be happy externally also and from internally also, irrespective of any situation in your life. Many people say we have so many problems in our life. I have a job problem, relationship problem, this problem. So this problem will go on because this world is made as such because of duality and because of non-permanent. So you should remember this verse. Everything will go on, just a matter of time. You should tolerate that things, but you should perform your material duties also, and you should perform your param duty also towards Lord Krishna. You should perform devotional service. So that is the takeaway from this verse. And if we compare our dharma to the other living entities, because this understanding and performing of paro dharma can be executed only in the human form of life. Animals, if you see all other living entities, especially animals, birds, insects, they are just taking care of their outer body because they have no knowledge about their internal body, about the soul. That's when day in, day out, all these birds, animals, they are just eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. For them, that is only life. So if we human being, if in absence of Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we are engaging only in these activities, one can understand. But now we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, so we should take good care about our external body also and take care of your soul also. Because in human form of life only, you can do something for the soul. Otherwise, it is not possible in any other form. We have seen 84 lakh species. So 84 lakh species, 80 lakhs are the species which have dull consciousness. They cannot understand about Supreme Lord. They cannot understand these lessons like who is Supreme Lord, we need Guru and soul characteristics, tolerance. They cannot understand it because they are designed as such. They are just day in, day out busy in only the external world, like cross body. But human form of life, we have an opportunity. We got this knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita. We have to take care of cross body. Yes, we have to take care. But that is not the only thing. That is incomplete. We have to take care of internal body also. That is soul. And how we can take care of the soul? By connecting soul to Supreme Lord Krishna through reading Bhagavad Gita, visiting temples, and associating with devotees and doing mantra meditation. So these all things will make your life more meaningful, and more happiness it will bring to your life. Prabhupada writes in the purport, according to Vedic induction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magh, January, February. It is very cold at that time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principle does not hesitate to take his bath. So Prabhupada is giving the example like whatever dharma you have to perform, that you have to perform. So you should bear the pain and you should tolerate that thing. So you should not avoid that things. You should always follow your dharma and you should be very tolerant. Like January and February is considered as very coldest month of the year. So even though that is a coldest month, but still those who follow the religious principle, they don't hesitate to take bath in a very cold water, even during this time. Second example, Prabhupada is saying, similarly, a woman or a mother does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, considered very hottest, the hottest part of summer season. No, because mother considered cooking for his family as his primary dharma. So irrespective of whatever this hottest part of the summer seasons are there, she never hesitate to cook for his family because that is considered one of the primary dharma. And how she could able to do this? Only because she is tolerating, because she knows she has to perform his dharma, she has to tolerate the things because these are the temporary. So similarly, we should perform our dharma, our material dharma and our spiritual dharma both, and you should tolerate the things. So already 12:30, I stop here only. So quick summary of today's session, what we have covered. So 4 lessons which we have learned. So till now we have covered 30 verses of chapter 2 and 4 lessons which we have learned. What is who is Supreme Lord? Lord Shri Krishna. And last session we have discussed in detail with multiple reasons like why Lord Krishna is Supreme Lord. Second, why Guru and absolute necessary in spiritual life. We have seen the example of Arjuna when he is in dilemma, he just surrendered to Lord Krishna, asked him to give his spiritual advice. Similarly, if you want to begin our spiritual life, so we have to have some spiritual representative in his life by which we can take the guidance, and he will give the guidance instruction only through Bhagavad Gita. Then the third most important lesson which we have learned in terms of our real identity. Because what is our real identity? Our real identity is our body only or something else. The Lord clearly gives the detail about our real identity, that is soul. Fourth thing, about tolerance. We should always perform our dharma, material dharma and the spiritual dharma, irrespective of any pains, irrespective of any displeasures. So you should only tolerate it. So tolerate is a solution and perform your dharma. So, quick announcement, there is a Ekadashi. Ekadashi is a fast we generally observe for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. So, it is on 13th February on the Friday. So, this is the announcement. And now, if there are any Q&As, now open for Q&A sessions. If there are any question answers, we can take. So, you can unmute yourself or you can go and put your questions in the chat box.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah. Please tell your name, Prabhu.
My name is Jaswant Kumar.
Okay.
Okay, you said about 84 lakh species. I have clarity about the 80 lakh species, but there is only one type of human there on the earth, having two hands, two legs, having the same body. What is the difference between for one
Okay.
type of human and 4 lakh species?
Okay. Thank you, Jaswant Prabhu, asking this question. Okay, so when we talk about 4 lakh different species in the human form, it means not from the external, not from the bodily point of view, based on the consciousness point of view. Because see, bodily point of view, we are same. We have 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes. Everyone has the same. But it's depend on the consciousness because human being has a mature consciousness. We cannot say animals and birds, they have a mature consciousness. They have a consciousness. Even trees have a consciousness, but it's a dull consciousness. So dull consciousness means they are not aware to understand all the spiritual subjects. Only human being, they have mature consciousness, so they can understand. So when you talk about 4 lakh, it means different level of consciousness. So when we covered in Bhagavad Gita later chapter, we'll come to know about different modes of nature. In human being also, they have different modes in which they operate. Some people are more in goodness, passion, ignorance, they are mix of it. Some people have high mode of goodness, low passion, some are high passion. So they are different mixture of this mode of material mode of nature because of their different consciousness are there. Because different consciousness, we have 4 lakh categories, Prabhu. So when we cover this mode of different mode of nature, we'll cover in detail, Prabhu. So it is based on the consciousness, not the bodily point of view.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. If anyone has any question, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Myself Sirisha.
Okay.
Guruji, as we are students now, so I want to know how Gita actually helps in maintaining a strong mentality. Like if a person nowadays there are so many distractions and depression, everything related to mental stress, all this. So among all this, how Gita helps in maintaining the mental stability correctly for in this busy life? Like what are the practices we can do?
Okay. So good question, Mataji. Thanks for asking. So if you see Bhagavad Gita, no, so Bhagavad Gita touches all the various areas which is very important in our human life. Like it's not just touching about the outer body. Bhagavad Gita gives knowledge about how you can have a better control on the mind, how you can have better control on your senses, how you can avoid the elements of this material world. And if you see, when you're clear about the things in your life, no, when you're clear who are you and what is the goal of the life, then slowly what happen if you perform this spiritual practice, no, so you'll internally get the determination. Your tolerance power will increase. You're saying no to the allurements, wrong things will increase. You will be determined to achieve your goals. So all these things would be clear when you have very solid intelligence. As I said, Bhagavad Gita will help you to make your mind and intelligence strong. So as of now, if you see, we just get trapped to so many things because our mind and intelligence is not very strong. Actually, we just get allure, we just attracted to so many wrong things because we are not able to decide. We don't have a control on our body also actually. We think this is a good thing and we will enjoy, but afterwards we always suffer because our mind intelligence is not very strong. Our determination is not very strong. We see very common, like people make resolution, they go to the gym. In the new year, they go for 1 week, then they don't go because lack of determination. In student life also, like you get determined, I want to achieve something. Suppose I want to become a doctor. So for doctor, you have to study very hard. You have to study 10 hours, 12 hours. So you want to achieve that, but you don't have determination. You don't have that strength to achieve that. So Bhagavad Gita, spiritual knowledge, what it does, it is not going to help you externally. Maybe it will not help you to keep your body fit, but it will help you to make your internal things in the life, in the body, like your mind intelligent, make you very strong, by which you'll be able to take correct decisions. You'll be more determined, you'll be more tolerant, and you'll be very focused in your life. So it will be helpful in your studies also and future career perspective also.
Okay, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you. So any other questions? I could see one question in chat box, but I don't know. It is asked by Nothing Phone. So I request kindly log in your name because to have that personal relation becomes very difficult if you log in with your phone number. Because if you have a name, I can talk to you by a name. Because if you have logged into a phone number, it becomes make the discussion very impersonal. Because you ask this question, Prabhuji's soul is same to all bodies or separate to each body. Any body dies, the soul came of the body and where it goes. According to past karma, body takes new janma and then soul into new body too. Yes, Prabhu, many things have already answered in your question itself. Yes, once the body dies, the soul leaves that body and takes a new body. As I said, soul remains the same. Soul doesn't say, it's not like that. Soul in a human body is different from the soul in the animal body. No, because as I said, soul is spiritual. It is not material. Like material things, we have inferior and superior quality. Like I can say, I have iPhone, I have a normal phone also. So that is superior, inferior qualities, types, attributes comes in the matter. But when you talk about spiritual, spiritual is one only. So my spiritual soul, whether it is an animal body, human body, is same. So in human form of body, if our activity as such, like I am indulgence in so many abominable activities, like I involve in drinking, smoking, extramarital affairs, not believing in Lord, not doing a devotional service, it means I'm doing all pap activities. So if we engage in all pap activities, it means you are carrying a bad of all akarmic, means all bad activities. So next birth, it would be very less chance to get a good birth in the human form because you have performed so many bad activity in this birth. So that's why in this lifetime also we should focus on doing some good activities and especially the devotional activities of Lord Krishna, so that at least we can continue our spiritual journey in the next birth. I hope I could answer, Prabhu, and I expect at least from the next time you will answer, you will log in with your name and not with the phone number. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, my name is Jashanth. I have another doubt also.
Yeah, Prabhu, please.
You have said that a subtle body and soul carry the soul to the other body. That means if a person is dumb in previous birth, it means that he will be as a dumb in the next birth also.
Sorry, if I understand correct, but you're saying if person has performed all bad activities, you're saying?
No.
Then
if a person is dumb in his previous birth, that means that he will be dumb in his next birth also.
No, Prabhu, you have to understand one thing. See, dumb or some other deformities in a body, that is a gross body. Please understand. When you talk about soul and subtle body, that is internal part, that is not outer body. It doesn't mean if you have some deformities in the outer body in this birth, next birth also you have deformities in the same body. Soul can take any other body in the next birth. It could be in a very great body with all the all the good qualities in a body. It can be dumb body or deaf body or some other dumb body. So there is no necessity as such. If in this birth you are dumb, next birth also get a dumb body. No, not like that. It's completely depend on your desires and the karma which you have performed, because we don't know what karma which we have performed the previous birth. Because of that, we have a suffering so much, like we become dumb in this birth. So at least this birth we should do something to improve our life of the next birth. So we should perform more devotional service. This is the only solution, Prabhu.
1 minute.
Perfect.
1 minute.
Thank you.
I mean about intelligence. Intelligent dumb.
So you are saying if someone is of particular level of intelligence.
Hmm.
So intelligence is not the only thing, na Prabhu. As I said, intelligence, mind, your ego, and finally the soul. Suppose in this birth you have not, the soul food is devotional service. The bhakti which you do for Lord Krishna, which you have not performed, suppose. So your soul has not done any good activity in this birth. And maybe intelligence wise you're dumb, example. But mind wise, you have always engaged your mind in the good things, suppose. And ego wise, suppose you're a very simple person, you're not very egoistic person. So at least intelligence wise, maybe you're dumb, but the other areas like mind and your ego, you have performed very well. And maybe soul, you have performed very well. You have performed devotional service. So next birth, all these factors would be considered before getting a new body, brother. So I think rather than thinking so many things, so much thing, you have to just concentrate on one thing. Keep, I have to do something this birth for my soul and mind, intelligence, ego. And what the best you can do? Only through devotional service. You perform devotional service, everything will be taken care by Lord itself, Prabhu. Lord, give the assurance in the Bhagavad Gita, which will cover in detail, Prabhu, in the further chapters.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I have a doubt. As you said,
What's your,
Arjuna
what's
got.
your name, Prabhu?
I'm Chandan.
Ajay Chandan, nothing A142. I think that is a question you asked, Chandan.
I will change it in my
Yeah,
next.
please, yeah. Because the only objective is to request to all participants to join by name, because we should have a relationship, personal relationship. And phone number is very artificial, Prabhu. You don't know who's asking this question, what is live. It's
Okay,
always better.
I'll
Prabhu.
correct it in my next session.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, please go on, Prabhu.
As you said, Arjuna had been into a dilemma just because he was fighting within his family members.
Right.
My doubt is, what if it was the members apart from his family? He's being a Kshatriya, his dharma is to protect his kingdom by killing or whatever it is. So my question is, isn't that killing will come into the sin? Let it be any person apart from his family.
Okay.
If he's killing some other person, isn't that a sin? If a mosquito is biting me, if I hit the mosquito, isn't that a sin?
Okay. So, Prabhu, what I understand here, you're asking 2-3 questions here. First, I will address the first question which you are saying. If suppose Arjuna has to fight with someone who is not his relatives, friends, that should be considered as a sin or not. Correct, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Because Arjuna is giving justification like I have to kill my parents and teachers, so that would be considered as a sin.
Yeah.
But you have to see, Prabhu, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, na, so many people, so many kings, soldiers, they have come for the fighting. So when you say Arjuna, na, Arjuna is specifically, he's focusing, but he's not completely focusing only on his friends. If you see the fourth reason which Arjuna gave, but he said destruction of family traditions. So he's not saying destruction of my family traditions. He's saying destruction of family tradition means so many soldiers, so many kings who are participating in this war, they will be killed. What about their wife? What about their children? What about their future? So Arjuna is showing concerns and consideration, not just about his family members, about others also. He's saying all the soldiers who would die, for that also, I may get the sin. He was in confused state. That's why he's putting so many arguments in front of Krishna. So, but Lord Krishna, if you see second chapter, what are the verses we have heard? Lord is saying, being a Kshatri, that is your duty actually to protect your kingdom. So, irrespective of fighting with your family members or other soldiers, you have to fight. So, that is your dharma. You have to fight. If I have to give you another example on this, Prabhu, like earlier, there were the kings, those who have to protect their army, correct? Now in today's time, if you compare the kings, we have our army, we have defense system, we have police. Okay. Many times army defense people, they have to go to the border, they have to fight, they have to kill the other country soldiers also. So if you think if you see whether they will get the sin or not, if you see from a government point of view, if you go and kill any normal person in the society, you will get the punishment, correct? Because you have done something crime, any one of us. But the same soldier, he goes to a border, he also killing, he also engage in killing, we also engage in killing. So what is the difference? Because our killing is for personal self motive, but that killing by the police person or the defense person, that is for the higher cause, that is of country, and higher cause is approved by the government, higher authority. So that's why they get the medals actually. In the defense, if you kill more opposite country soldiers, you get more medals and all those things, more prizes. You never get any punishment. So sin or not sin depend upon the activity which you do, whether it is a higher purpose or not, and that higher purpose is approved by the Supreme Lord or not, high authority. So considering that, you should decide whether it is sinful or not sinful, Prabhu. So this is a high understanding, Prabhu, which comes by reading the Vedic literatures.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, here, Prabhuji, I just want to add one more thing also.
Just a
here,
minute, Mataji. Whether Chandan Prabhu, you are okay or you have still further some other clarification or questions?
Yeah, Prabhu, I had even another doubt like
Yeah, please go on.
Mosquito bits you and we hit the mosquito. Isn't that a sin? Because even it carries the soul.
Okay. So ideally, Prabhu, if you harm any other living entity for your personal objective, you will get sin. Example, mosquitoes. Okay. So maybe you're killing the mosquitoes to protect you, Prabhu. But ultimately, if you see, you have many other options also by which you can do something to avoid the mosquitoes to harm you. But instead of doing that, you are just killing that mosquitoes, you will get some amount of sin, Prabhu. That is sure, because you're killing other living entity, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So as far as possible, try to, that's why like in our ISKCON also, no, Prabhu, we go to many places. So many times we never use that Odomox or All Out, all those things. We always use the mosquito nets actually. As far as possible, you should not kill any living entity, not only mosquito, even ant also. If you're walking on a road, you see ant or something, you should not step on that ant, Prabhu. You'll get sin. That is very clear. Because intentionally for your own thing, you're killing that person who will not harm you anything. Or maybe he has harmed you, but there is other ways by which you can avoid that, which you're not avoiding, then killing him. Please understand, here dharma for Kshatri is different, and this is not your dharma for your personal convenience. You are doing this, Prabhu. There are a lot of difference, and I try to relate this with the help of the example of killing. Like defense person, police person is also killing, and a civilian person in a society, he is also killing. Both are killing. One is getting medal, other is getting punishment. Why? You can say killing is same, no? But he is killing for a higher purpose, which is approved by the higher authority.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji, you were asking some question. Please tell your name.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm Saumya. I just wanted to add one more point here. It's not a question actually. Here in the purport, they have given that the person who commits certain sins are not excused, like setting their house on fire, poisoning their food,
Correct.
and
Aggressors. Very nice.
Yes,
very
and
nice.
taking their wife.
Correct.
These,
Yeah, very
the
nice.
person who commits
Very nice.
senses.
So, Chandan Prabhu and everyone, if you have read this Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, that's why I repeat in every session, please read Bhagavad Gita. Please read. Because what happens in this 1.5 hour times, I try to cover the maximum things, but I may not be able to cover everything because there's many detailing given the purports about many questions which we have, like the question which you asked about sin. So if you read the first chapter, I didn't remember which verse, 38 words or 40 words in the Prabhupada has clearly mentioned what is sin, what is not sin. If you kill a person who's involved in this many activities, there is no sin for that actually. Because and aggressors which Mataji is talking about, in Vedic literature is clearly mentioned. If any person who is engaged in these 6 abominable activities, like if he has set the fire to someone's house, if he have kidnapped her wife, if he have done this, so you can kill that person. From Supreme Lord point of view, you have not done anything sinful. So anything wrong, right, sinful is decided by the Supreme Authority. As I said, Prabhu, killing, different person is also killing, no?
Yeah.
But it is not a crime because government decide what is crime and what is unlawful, what is law, what is not law. We think we'll decide by our own actually. That is wrong. That's why it is say, Prabhu, in life we should always take guidance from the Vedic literatures to know what is right, what is wrong. Even Arjuna was using his own brain. He was thinking, if I kill my parents, it is very natural, na Prabhu. If I kill my parents, if I kill my teachers, it is pap. Correct, no? Arjuna is putting forward the same question in front of Supreme Lord. But what Supreme Lord is saying, no, this is not pap because I am approving it. I am Supreme Lord. If I say no sin, आपको पाप नहीं लगेगा. Go and fight. Like government says, defense says, go and kill people. You will not get any punishment. So punishment, sin, pap, who decides? Supreme Authority decide. So who are we to decide?
Yeah, Prabhu.
So that's why there is so much important to read scriptures daily, Prabhu.
Yeah.
That's why you become very clear in your life. What is right, what is wrong. Because currently, because of social media and everything, now every person is coming saying so many things. So people are getting so confused in today's time. Just focus on the spiritual things. You'll be very clear in your life. That's why you say your mind intelligence will be sharp. You will be very determined. You will be very focused and you will progress in life, Prabhu. If you take shelter of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I have one more question. Can I ask?
Yeah. Okay.
Now, Prabhuji, you said about mantra meditation. Can you explain like how exactly we can perform that?
Yeah. So, Mataji, just give me 2 minutes. So we'll just start this mantra meditation. So I just quickly see if chat box is there any other questions. So when I prayed chanting, whenever I pray and chant Hare Krishna mantra in front of Lord Krishna, my eyes watering. May I know the reason? There is a question from Akula. He is saying, whenever I chant in front of Krishna, I get my eyes watering. Why may I know the reason? It is good, Prabhu. At least you are getting some emotions towards Lord Krishna. So it means you are spiritually growing. So nothing wrong in that. Please continue. Please chant in front of Lord and you will get the Lord mercy and you will progress in life. Don't worry, Prabhu. Please progress. That is a good thing. Aruna, are we planning Upanishad class also in future? Mataji, I don't know Upanishads. Why you have asked these specific questions? So I want to understand your intention. So maybe you can connect to me one-to-one after this class. We can go to other scriptures also, but if you take my recommendation, I would say just focus on Bhagavad Gita. If in his lifetime we can understand this one book, that is Bhagavad Gita, and we can apply his instruction in our life, our life would be successful, Mataji. You don't need to refer any other book. You have time, you have interest, you can go on, read on. That is not a problem. But the only thing is, now you understand, now you are attending this session, just focus on Bhagavad Gita. That is sufficient, Mataji. That is because this is the only one book which is directly spoken by Lord Krishna, Supreme Authority. And he is guaranteeing, if you follow my instructions, your life would be successful. Thank you. Okay, so thank you everyone for asking these nice questions and making this session very interactive. So let's go to the last part of our session. So before that, some glorification about holy name. So it is mentioned that holy name of the Lord Krishna is not different from the Lord himself. It means when you are meditating on the Lord, on the holy name, when you are chanting Hare Krishna, it means you're directly connecting to that Lord. Like when you want to speak to a person who is remote from our place, we just call that person and speak on the phone. It means we are directly speaking to that person. Similarly, when you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it means you are directly speaking or directly connecting to Lord Krishna. And in result, what happens? It purifies your heart. It will calm your mind. So you have better control in your mind. And it connect our soul with the Krishna. As I said, we have our dharma is to do some duty for the soul also, not to the not just for the gross body. And what dharma we should do for the soul? We should do chanting so that we can connect, we can provide the food to the soul and we can connect the soul with the divine. So it is mentioned in the Kali Sanat Upanishad, this Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, consists of 60 names of Krishna, is the destroyer of the illusion covering of living entities. This is a conclusion of Vedas. Only when the covering and destroyer Lord Krishna, Supreme Personal Godhead, will appear in the heart of all living entities. Just like the sun appears with the full intensity when the clouds are removed. So just meditate very sincerely on Hare Krishna mantra. So now we'll just chant this Hare Krishna mantra maybe for 2 minutes, and you all can unmute yourself, and we all can chant Hare Krishna mantra for 2 minutes before we conclude the session. You can unmute yourself then. So I will start and we all can recite together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Last 2 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So, thank you all for attending our today Gita sessions. So, my prayer to Lord Krishna to inspire all of you so that you can revise whatever we have learned or whatever I discussed in today's class session. And also in a week, please remove some time of the subjects which we have discussed. Also to read Bhagavad Gita daily, especially the Srila Prabhupada purports in Bhagavad Gita. And please chant this Hare Krishna mantra because as we discussed in today's session, we have to do something. We have some dharma. We have some responsibility towards our soul also, which are real identity. And what we can do, the best what we can do for our soul is to connect soul to Lord Krishna. And what is a medium? To Hare Krishna mantra. This is a meditation. And also its result would be your mind and intelligence will have a better control. It will be sharpened. It will more focused. So you will be excel in any field of your life. So please do these 3 activities in the weekdays. And if you need any support, any help, any clarification, any comments, feel free to contact me one-to-one on WhatsApp, or maybe you can call me. I'll be more happy to support you. And see you all in the next session. And please don't miss any sessions going forward because now the actual journey of Bhagavad Gita instruction has already started from the soul concept. Now you see in the next session we'll cover law of karma. So many questions which you have, why I'm suffering, what happens in the next birth, everything we'll discuss in the next session. And thank you once again, grateful to be part of this session. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.